And then you figure out, okay, so you have a third party who's paying the bills. Now let's use your auto analogy, Larry. Let's say that your car's not doing well. So you're going to take your car into the shop. The person who owns the shop is motivated by profit, correct?
Oh, I was going to say Bruno. Yeah,
Bruno's motivated by profit, okay? So Bruno's going to take a look at your car and say, you know, maybe you need something going on with the transmission, maybe you need brakes, because Bruno's making a lot of money every time he gives you a procedure, and he's making a lot of money on that. Now, if you're not asking any questions like, are you sure I need brakes? I don't think I need brakes. Maybe I ought to take it to another shop and see if I need brakes, or maybe I just need transmission fluid, but I don't need a new transmission. So I think I'll take it to somebody else and get a second opinion. But if you had a third party, if you had Aetna or United Healthcare or Blue Cross paying your bills,
saying don't worry about it, it doesn't matter,
and you think that all it costs there, but you've got a $25 deductible or copay when you go to take your car into the shop. So for you, a visit to the shop's $25. You don't really care if he replaces the transmission and the brakes, even though you don't need them. That's how it works.
So you're talking about competition. Competition is one of the things, the pillars of lowering costs.
Absolutely, competition, and the other thing is, you as a consumer, taking that automobile into the shop or taking you into the doctor, have to be better informed. You've got to ask the right kinds of questions. And you've got to not be afraid to shop this, to get a second opinion, to look around, and to make sure that you're getting, so you have to be a smarter consumer of the product.
Well, most people just take the word of your doctor. I walk in, my doctor tells me it's so. You don't need to have this checked until you're 50. And I'm like, okay, and I'm walking out. So you're telling me that you're going to educate us and help us and save us money and keep us healthier.
That's exactly right. See, what we want to make our employees better customers, better educated when it comes to consuming healthcare for two reasons. We want to make sure that you're asking better questions, and that you have resources. So we're investing in this. We'll talk about this. We're investing in resources to help you when you're faced with a decision like that.
Well, let's get right to it. We know what the problem is: rising costs all over the country,
right,
even globally. And it's because there are third parties paying, and the consumer and the doctor, the patient and the doctor, aren't as close on the transaction as they should be to lower costs. Now, what in particular about the new Cumulus plan going forward will make costs lower? And people are also afraid, you have to address this, of, it's lower cost, but are we getting lower quality?
Okay, let's sort of start from the top then. So what we've done is, when we did all the research on this, we said there's got to be a better way than just simply going to one provider, and in essence it was a supermarket, and it gave us all the different services: disease management, medical management, pharmacy, and it was the administrator, and it provided the network.
So just one provider.
We had one-stop shop to do all this.
Right.
Now, from our perspective, it was easy. You're dealing with one vendor, you're writing one check, and you don't, frankly, get too engaged or too involved with it. And that is, in essence, the problem. So what we did was we sort of disaggregated, or took all of those various services apart and shopped them around and said, who's doing best in class when it comes to disease management or medical management or maternity management or pharmacy and administration, and took a look at the network. And so what we found is that if we, in essence, went with different vendors, best in class, put it all back together again, we would come up with a health plan that initially is going to be a little more expensive for the company, and we'll talk about this, but it's an investment to engage all of the employees, the base of our employees, to become better consumers.